I always thought the phrase hell is other people was a bit dramatic until I met Margaret. My husband Leo and I had just poured our life savings into a beautiful 1920s Craftsman in Willow Creek. It was supposed to be our forever home. On day 3, before we'd even unpacked the toaster, there was a knock. Standing there was a woman in a pastel suit holding a clipboard like a weapon. "I'm Margaret, president of the Willow Creek HOA," she said, not smiling. "Your mailbox is 3 shades too dark for our approved palette. You have 48 hours. I laughed, thinking it was a neighborhood joke. It wasn't. Within a month, we had received 14 citations. One was for excessive grass height. It was a 1/4 inch over the limit. Another was for unauthorized botanical displays, aka the potted petunias on my porch. But the real drama started when we decided to paint our front door a soft sage green. Margaret didn't just hate the color. She acted like I'd spray painted a manifesto on the sidewalk. She started showing up at 6 a.m., measuring our driveway with a ruler. My neighbors, once friendly, started crossing the street when they saw us. They were terrified of being seen with the rebels. Margaret told me point blank at the community mixer, "We have a certain standard here and some people just don't fit the mold." Little did I know she wasn't just trying to fine us, she was trying to force us out. By month 6, the fines totaled over $5,000. Every time we paid one, 2 more appeared. Improper curtain lining visibility and non-standard trash bin placement. It felt like psychological warfare. Then things took a dark turn. I came home from work to find a for sale sign in my front yard. I hadn't put it there. I called the realtor on the sign, and they told me a representative of the Willow Creek HOA had reached out saying the property was entering foreclosure due to unpaid liens. My heart dropped. I checked our bank records. Every check we sent for the fines had been cashed, but our HOA portal still showed a balance of 0. When I confronted her at the monthly board meeting, she looked me dead in the eye and said, "If you can't follow the rules, you don't deserve the zip code. We're initiating a forced sale to protect the neighborhood's property value." The room went silent. My neighbors looked at their shoes. It turns out, Margaret had done this before to an elderly couple 3 years ago. She'd used the HOA legal fund to bully them into selling. Then her nephew, a real estate agent, flipped the house for a massive profit. This wasn't about the color of my mailbox. It was a real estate racketeering ring run by a woman in a cardigan. I realized then that playing nice was over. I spent the next 2 weeks acting like a private investigator. I went door to door, not to complain, but to listen. I found 4 other families who were being fined into submission. We pooled our resources and hired a forensic accountant. What we found was a goldmine of corruption. Margaret hadn't just been hiding our payments. She'd been embezzling the HOA's landscaping fund for her personal vacations to the Maldives. The final showdown happened at the annual General Assembly. Margaret stood at the podium, ready to announce the foreclosure of our home. I stood up, not with a lawyer, but with a tablet connected to the projector. I played the audio recording of her nephew bragging at a local bar about their Willow Creek ATM. Then I showed the bank statements. The color drained from her face. She went from Karen to defendant in 60 seconds. The police were already waiting in the lobby. The board was dissolved that night. The liens were stripped and Margaret was hit with multiple counts of fraud. Today my front door is still sage green. In fact, 3 other neighbors painted theirs the same color in solidarity. We realized the neighborhood wasn't the problem. It was the person holding the clipboard. If you're dealing with a nightmare HOA, remember, they only have the power you give them. Document everything, find your allies, and never let a Margaret win. If you enjoyed this neighborhood justice story, don't forget to subscribe for more crazy family and HOA dramas right here at BestWithB12.